Good morning. Had to throw a coat on this morning. It's kind of chilly, but still feels good to be out in the creation and in the woods. Just had to put the hammock away with all the rain yesterday, so I'm gonna sit on a wet log instead. So I'll try not to shiver this morning. Yeah, I'm wrapping up week one officially today. This is the first Sunday since I started doing this. Uh, I was thinking back on on COVID days, actually, a little bit, when we were all locked down and sitting in our own spaces with our families, freaking out. Um, uh, some people that I've talked about in some other videos, some of the musicians and just some of the people in the consciousness music community and the medicine tribe. Some of those people started doing things like what I've been doing this week, and Sunday service kind of became a pretty popular idea. Uh, Musicians would jump online on a Sunday morning and share some thoughts and some feelings about how they believe, what they believe, and what they're going through, and the importance of us all staying connected, even when we were so isolated physically back then. There was a bit of a blessing in the technology, just keeping us a little closer. It was a poor substitute a lot of times for what we had. What we had to give up, but it was still very, very helpful. So shout out to all of you back in the day during those COVID days that got on and did things like this and stayed connected and help keep us all inspired and connected out there. Yeah, I watched quite a few of Nako's Sunday services back then. But yeah, that was also the time when he just came under attack, and a lot of his imperfections were highlighted for the world to see, and a movement to cancel him was put into motion, and in a lot of ways that movement did work. But yeah, I think like a lot of cancellations out there, there's a lot of truth, and then there's a lot of embellishment and other things that get mixed in with the truth to make that cancellation effective. And so yeah, thankfully a lot of the folks that have gone through those sorts of things, they've used those experiences to face some of their demons and some of their issues, and maybe get that ego back in check. But yeah, if you remember back to that time at all, if there's anybody that was important to you before those days, and you realize, oh, like, yeah, pre-COVID I was really into this, and I really I really got a lot out of these relationships and these interactions I had with different people. If some of those people were canceled along the way, especially during that time, I'd encourage you to just maybe think that over, and see what some of those people are up to. Some of them are still working, and still there, and a lot of them are better people for those cancellations. They, just like any of us, if you ever are put under a microscope, and the spotlight turns on you and a group of people don't want your message or your light to be a part of the story anymore. There's a darkness that can jump in and help put out those lights that people are putting into the world. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time thinking about those light and dark influences, and just how they've affected me, and not just me personally, but the the people I associate with, and music I listen to, and entertainment that speaks to me. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time with this question of light and dark, and the balance of that. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit about balance and the light and the dark, I guess, just to give you, again, just more insight into why I think the way I do, and what matters to me, and how I interact with the world out here. Yeah, I grew up in a very Judeo-Christian mindset. You know, there was this good, this ultimate good, that was on high, that was responsible for all of this. But there was this other dark force, call it Satan, the devil, whatever label you want to put on it. The Bible gets a little odd with the labels. It does look like maybe there were multiple characters that kind of get looped into just one personality, one character, and then that just becomes this one force that's considered the adversary, or the dark one, that's out here working against God. So that was how I saw the world, and understood good versus evil was much like that. One of the big helps of this spiritual journey that I've been on, and sort of looking at these other ideas, not just the Judeo-Christian view of good versus evil and God versus the devil, but just seeing this from these other spiritual practices, and religious beliefs, is I've come to realize this idea that these are two beings outside of us. It's become much more of a personal thing for me, much more of something that I can hold with some personal accountability, rather than thanking the good side for all the good, and fearing the bad side, and sort of thinking that side is out to get me, out to hurt me. I really have experienced a shift more toward an understanding of these two forces being a part of me, and being something that I have to deal with. You see this in all sorts of religion, all sorts of spiritual ideas that are out there that aren't really formal religions as well, carry the same idea. You see it in psychology. You get the Jungian psychology view of this idea of the shadow, this other part of you that's there, that we sometimes repress, sometimes we ignore it, sometimes we let it out to play, but I do believe that inside of us there is this battle for our heart, that is a light versus dark battle. I still really struggled with it. Transitioning from this idea of the good guy and the bad guy, fighting for my soul. That was a really hard mindset to shake. That was, since my earliest days, that was how I looked at good versus evil. It may seem like a hard right turn here, but I'm about as white as it gets. I don't have a lot of diversity in my bloodline, but there was always this feeling toward Native American culture, Native American religion. There was just something there that it seemed like there was something there for me, even though I was clearly an outsider. I didn't have any ancestral claim to that belief. There was something there that spoke to me, and within all of what I've learned from those people and from their teachings, there's this idea of these two wolves that are inside of you. That there's a battle for supremacy. There can only be one alpha when it comes to the pack. So these two wolves are very interested in leading the way. And there's the white wolf. This is the wolf of, I don't know, if you think about a wolf pack, you may think wolves are scary or dangerous, but wolves are fascinating creatures. The leader of the pack has all of these responsibilities, and this idea of the white wolf is this is the protector. It looks after everyone. It's incredibly strong, but it's not selfish. It acts in the greater interest. There's love from that wolf and the way that wolf wants to lead. And then there's this other wolf, and that wolf also wants to lead. That wolf is coming from a place of darkness and domination and control and violence and fear, and either one of these wolves has a chance to be the leader. And the way I first heard the story, this wise man was telling this to a much younger person, and the younger person looks at the wise man and says, "Well, who's going to win? Like, how does this story end?" And it's just a simple answer. It's the wise man says it's just a matter of which wolf you feed. Which one of those wolves gets the most nourishment from you. You will be constantly feeding either one of these wolves or the other, and the one you feed the most is the one that will lead. And that really helped me kind of reframe this good versus evil thing, from, instead of being outside influences that are somehow coming at me, and I've got to be close to this one over here, and I got to watch out for this one over here. It's going to attack me, as if these two wolves were somehow both outside of me and coming for me. It really changed and helped me look at that good versus evil battle and bring it internally and put it more personally on me as a responsibility, as an active participant in that process of making sure the wolf that I want to lead is the wolf that's being fed. And so I try to remember that beyond the teachings that I've talked about that are important to me, that come from Jesus and the Bible and other faiths. That's another teaching that seemed, I don't know, whenever I came across that teaching, and then I also started to get back into the Word and revisit the teachings of Jesus. I talked about how timeless and universal as some of these teachings from Jesus are. And yeah, you pick up your Bible and you read through what Jesus is talking about. A lot of times, it's a lot of it has to do with this internal commitment to the light, to the goodness, putting away these dark desires, not feeding into those, not trying to serve two masters, and I'm not, not trying to, like, feed greed and feed envy and feed those things, and then also try to go back and be like, but as long as I don't commit these acts, then I'm good. As long as I don't sin, it's okay. As long as I don't go any farther with that, it's okay. If I'm greedy, it's okay as long as I don't hurt people along the way and that sort of thing. I think Jesus talks about it's not whether or not this wolf is attacking you or biting you. It's if you feed this dark wolf, it will grow stronger. And it really does have a chance to become the leader and the stronger influence in your life. So I just try to remember that when I'm feeding that spiritual side of me. I think most of us that have spent any time in the spiritual path, or if you're just a religious person and you've always believed in God and you've always had faith, whatever that faith means to you, you've probably realized at some point that you are more than this body. There's this soul and this spirit that are also a part of you, and that part of you needs food too. That part has to be fed. And yeah, we're all getting fed constantly. Spiritual food. What are you gonna bring in? What are you consuming? What is affecting your spiritual body, not just your physical body? And yeah, if you're anything like me, I've fed that spiritual body all sorts of bad food. I'll probably do a video at some point on where the 7 deadly sins fit in for me. The 7 deadly sins aren't just like a clear chapter verse reference you can look at inside the Bible and go, here is the 7 deadly sins listed. But all throughout the Bible, Old and New Testament, and outside the Bible and many other religions, these 7 deadly sins that you hear talked about, pride, greed, sloth, all of them. I won't embarrass myself and try to name them all and leave one out. But when you start looking at these 7 deadly sins, rather than think about those again as actions, just as think of them as the spiritual fuel whenever that's affecting your life, and you're in those areas, even if it's something as simple as pride, and you're not taking any action. If you spend a lot of time thinking of in a prideful way, you are feeding that dark wolf. So yeah, I'll leave the 7 deadlies there. I don't want to make this too long of a message. I want to spend a little time down here, just reflecting on the week and my appreciation for all of it. So yeah, I'll try to remind myself as I get deeper into this that God keep feeding that white wolf. I definitely want that to be the leader in my life. So if you're watching this on Sunday, enjoy the last of your weekend. Hope you found some time to spend in contemplation, prayer, connection, to the bigger power of all of this. Spent a lot more time with that this week, and it's been good for me. So I will leave it there. If you have any questions, comments, like always, please shout them out. Speak up. I really appreciate it when you do. So take care. We'll talk soon.